Kids Day, it's just $1 to help out the kids. Make it, can you? Here, you're way better at this than I am, so. But we're gonna get right into it. It is Kids Day. We are standing on the corner, and we're with some amazing volunteers from Wells Fargo, and I tell you what, these people are dedicated to making things happen, and it's also for the Children's Hospital of Central California. Miss Miranda Stelfox, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I'm so happy to see you this morning. A little blistery day, got a little chilly, but I tell you what, these people are out and ready to make it happen.
Well, we are out and ready to make it happen. We've been out here since as early as 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this morning, saving our spots.
Sure.
And we've got a ton of volunteers. We've got over 300 volunteers this day.
Right.
Now,
last year, I think it was 200. You put the numbers through the roof. Of course, I'm at a great new location by the Power TV. I just buzzed right across town very quickly. Centro La Familia, and this is an amazing organization that is doing great things to help people out, especially with the help of volunteers from Wells Fargo. We're going to get right into that in a minute when I talk with Miss Chris Torres. How are you?
I'm fine, Rich.
Good. It's so good to see you, and I love the organization you're running here. It's a fabulous organization that's helping a lot of people, but I want you to kind of get into the nooks and crannies a little bit. Tell me how this all got started.
Well, actually, Centro La Familia has been around for about 40 years,
Okay.
which is a long time, and it started with students on a project that they didn't want to do a paper, so they said, we'll do a project. They put a table in front of the welfare department at that time, and they started helping people come out that had questions, didn't know what was going on, and that's how we started.
Welcome back to Valley Life. I'm J.R. Jackson. Rich Krebs is on special assignment in Los Banos. Today, we have a very special guest as we continue with Wells Fargo Fridays. It's Oscar Cabrero. He's from Wells Fargo. Oscar, welcome.
Thank you. Hey, welcome.
This is a very, very interesting. We're here today talking about Fresno Street Saints. And first of all, let's say, what do you do with Wells Fargo?
So my title's Community Development Officer, and I work with a lot of our nonprofits and our internal team members. So we helping them get into boards, find opportunities for them to get involved and work in our communities. Because with Wells Fargo, we this year we just celebrated our 160th anniversary, and that's 160 years of investing back in our communities. So I've got the pleasure of being able to work with our internal customers, our team members, and helping them find opportunities to do that.
Joining me right now is Crystal Munoz, who is the store manager from Wells Fargo and also a team volunteer, team member. Crystal, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, tell me, you're store manager, branch manager of which fine Wells Fargo branch?
I'm on the West Shaw location at Shaw Lane between Marks and Van Ness.
Fantastic. We talk about Wells Fargo every day, the great work they do, the fabulous bank they do, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. You're a volunteer, and you work with the American Heart Association. We just talked to Michael and learned a lot about the Heart Association. Tell me, what got you involved with the Heart Association?
Well, a couple of years back, someone from Wells Fargo who was also involved with the American Heart Association asked me to participate. And once I met the group and all the fabulous people that work here, I had to be involved.
We like to point out the amazing volunteerism that Wells Fargo employees are jumping in on to help out around the community, but that also means then we've got to point out the great things that are happening in our community. One of them would be the Fresno County Economic Opportunities Commission. So I want to get a little bit of the background and the structure a little bit, and we'll kind of get into the nuts and bolts of what makes this work. Mr. Brian Angus, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. Frank Franco, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, Brian, as CEO of this operation, you take great pride in making sure that everything is greased and the wheels are all turning properly, because this is an amazing impact on our community. We take advantage, of just what we do day to day with banking. When banking can give back to the community, there are life skills that are involved in helping people to realize, all right, I can manage money, and that's a big part of being on your own and making things work. So you're able then to kind of coach people through some of this with your involvement.
Well, absolutely. I think the involvement on the executive board with the EOC is greater in that we basically get to make decisions to help steer the agency at a much larger level, and ultimately that affects the individuals that you'll see in this program.
Sure.
So
having someone like Wells Fargo behind you to say, look, I'm not just writing you a $10 check right now, we're going to actually make this thing grow, that's got to be huge support.
It's amazing. We all talk about the recent economy and all that's been going on. For us, it's the difference of keeping our programs going or not keeping our programs going. We have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the last couple of years by state cuts. Wells Fargo steps up, and not only do they care about our banking needs in the valley, they care about people in the valley, and we are so grateful.
Have one of these artists come and commission some work for you. It'll help this amazing program function. Don't go anywhere. More Wells Fargo Friday coming up after this.